Hello and welcome to a presentation of MultiPhysics in IronCAD. I have some beams I'm gonna analyze and also an attachment later on. The purpose here is to show that you can rip up a surface to be able to add the force on a restricted area, not the whole surface. When you click on the beam you can see the surface is this big. I want to have the force on a certain area. So what I do is I go into the catalog starter, right drag to, for example, to the midpoint of this surface, and because I right drag I can choose to make it as separate part, and I can move it like a bit 400 millimeters or so just to position it, and then I can right drag in the handles and choose 200 millimeters in this direction, right drag 100, because a right drag it updates symmetrical. So now I go to the tab feature to choose a command split faces, and here I choose split by body. The target is this beam and the tool it is this part, and then hit green button. Okay, now I have the split surface here, so I can add the force to this area of the beam. Okay, I go now to the add-ins tab and choose add FEA, and I choose static analysis and hit OK. And to start with I choose to change my units to whatever I like, millimeter, newton and kilogram, and hit OK. And now this material group consists of every beam and plate in this file. I want to change material to structural steel and, for example, 235. And I can create an additional material group, a new material. Again, I choose another material. Okay, and I want these two plates to be of another material down here. So now I have two material groups, and I can see what group these beams are related to, and as well these plates. Okay, now constraints, position and rotation. I can just click on this surface and that surface to restrict in X, Y, Z direction. So now it's fixed in the space. Next step, load, force, pressure. I don't want to use pressure, I want to use force, and 50,000 Newton, and I hit this surface I just created, and I choose to have it normal and switch the direction so it's downwards and hit OK. So now it's okay for me to put the calculation to be started. Okay, now it's creating the mesh and also creating the result of deformation and stress. The first result is displacement, it's deformation, it's just 1.3 millimeters. The red area is where the deformation is the highest value, and obviously where it's fixed it's below and it doesn't move at all. I can change the setup, contour setup, to be, instead of displacement, deformation, I can choose stress. Like von Mises, it's called equivalent stress, and it's Newton per square millimeter. So now I can see the stress in the material, and the red area is where the stress is highest, and it's 99, almost 100 Newton per square millimeter. A recommendation is to go to the mesh here and choose add, or I can click here, mesh generation, and make it a bit more fine and choose generate. And this is because you want to see if a finer mesh gives another result or if it's about the same result. It can be the case that you see a quite different result when I now hit AutoSolve. You see here that it's a bit finer mesh than before. Every distance is a bit closer between the nodes. And now I click on AutoSolve and it's calculating again. The tension, the stress here is 124. It's quite big difference really. So it was good to make the finer mesh. You can also go to contour setup and choose displacement and choose update screen and OK. So now you see the displacement, the maximum displacement, and you also have the possibility to choose to see a report created. But I will do another analysis before I go there. But this is a way you can work if you want to add the force on a restricted area on this beam. Okay, now I'm going to use this attachment as another example. If you look here, you can see that I have a part that's only supposed to use for split up this surface on this hole. Okay, and as you know, with IronCAD you can always adjust things, values with handles, or you can right click to add exact numbers. In this case I can choose in which direction I want to split the surface depending on where the force is coming from, and I can obviously rotate with the triball as normal, and I can do it freely, or I can refer to an edge in this file parallel to edge, so it's easy to position this part. And as you know, I can go to the feature tab and split face, split by body, target is this one and the tool is that one, and I choose green button. Okay, so again I have done this modification to the surface. So now when I go into the add FEA, I can choose this analysis, I can choose this unit settings. It's like a repetition, which can be good to remember, millimeter, newton and kilogram. And I can go to material, I can choose another material and hit OK. I choose constraints, position, I choose this surface. Okay, so now it's fixed up here, and now I go to load and force 50,000 Newton and hit here, and I choose normal and reverse. So now I have the force is pointing in the right direction. And that's it. So now I have an analysis of a circular hole with a ripped up surface. This is displacement, and I can choose, as you know, I can choose stress. Okay, so now I see the stress where it's highest. Okay, that's it. Thank you.